Hi, our project is Answer Sheet Evaluation Application, and the members include Adira Unikrishnan, Brinciana Gabriel, Christina Joseph, and Jasna Jose. Our guide is Miss Priya KV. So, the answer sheet evaluation application, we aim at improving the or helping the answer sheet evaluators or the teachers who is cross-checking the answer sheets of the students with the answer keys provided by the university, and to help them in their task of comparing the answers and outputting the score. So the application performs the comparison function so that uh, the output of the application is how similar is the student's answer with the answer key provided. So this can help out the teachers or the answer sheet evaluators in this heavy task of reading the handwriting of each of the students and cross-checking it with the answer keys. This is our system architecture, and in that we have seen that the handwritten image input, that is the student's answer key, and the answer key input, the answer key provided by the university is input into the is taken by the application interface, and then the processes including handwriting recognition and image text recognition are performed so that the text in the image is documented, or we are converting the image into text, and then we are performing the comparison function. For that we make use of cosine function, and we predict the score. We also predict whether the student have enough marks to pass or fail according to certain constraints set.
Video we are going to show how handwritten recognition is done. As we know, a project is divided into two parts: handwritten recognition and text comparison. So in this video I'm going to show how handwritten recognition is done. So in this we are going to run it in Spider. So with the we are mainly used GCP, which is a Google Cloud platform, which helps in this. So we're gonna run the program. Sorry. We're gonna run this program. So we will be getting a folder just like this. So we're gonna click this open file. So we'll be getting this folder. So we are gonna take the handwritten image from this. So we are gonna get this output. So the first one is which is shown here is the image which is contained the text, and this is the output text image. So in this we are used the GCP. With the help of GCP we are able to convert the handwritten image into a text image. So in this also we just used an Anaconda prompt. The Anaconda prompt helps in installing the pep install upgrade.
We actually make use of the GCP account in order to get the Google API key, which is a Cloud Vision API we make use of, so that this is a video showing how we obtained the key from the Google API, GCP account. We initially enabled the API. In the project we make use of a Cloud Vision API. So we just enabled the Cloud Vision API. This is already enabled, and then we move to the settings. We move to the credentials in order to access the enabled API, and we create credential, and we need a service account so that from there we can obtain the API information as a JSON file, that is the key information as a JSON file. So we need to input the service name, and we need to create the key. The key we create here will be enabled to perform the Cloud Vision functions too, as we have enabled the Cloud Vision. So we need the key in the form of a JSON file. So we press create, and the key is downloaded, and actually we make use of this key in our program. We have explained it in the video that we store this key in a particular location, and then we obtain the location or path of the particular key, and we will input it in our program so that our program will work accordingly to get the output of the handwritten images. Okay, this is a program that actually reads the text of the answer key input by the answer paper evaluator. That is, the answer key is expected to be in printed form, and we make use of the PyTestRack library to read the answer key. So we just need to select the particular answer key from the list of images, and we are going to read it. Read it in the sense we are going to convert it into text. So we get a pop-up open file. So we're gonna open the file. From there we're gonna pick an answer key. So here is the output. Here is the answer key that we have picked, that is OLTP's image. This is the answer key. We are supposing that it's an answer key, and this is the text which is printed. We are also taking the text into a file so that we can take this to the next step of the project, and where these will be compared.
So here I am explaining about cosine similarity, which is used as the similarity measure in our project. The commonly used approach to check the similarity was to take the count of common words between the documents. But this approach has a disadvantage, that is, when the size of document increases, the number of common words also increases. So it will show similar even if the two documents saying about two different topics. But in cosine similarity, this does not cause these types of problems. Talking about the cosine similarity, it is a metric used to measure how similar the documents are irrespective of their size. It measures the cosine of the angle between two vectors projected in a multidimensional space, where each dimension corresponds to a word in the document. The cosine similarity captures the orientation of the documents and not the magnitude. The equation of cosine similarity is given by similarity of A and B is A dot product of B all divided by norm of A into norm of B. The values of the similarity ranges from -1 to 1, where -1 shows the perfect dissimilarity and 1 shows the perfect similarity. We can use this to find the similarity between two or more documents without considering its size. It is also a symmetrical similarity measure, which means if we are computing similarity between document A to the document B, it will be same as the similarity of document B to document A. The cosine similarity have an advantage, that is, if the two similar documents are different in other methods, they could have a smaller angle between them. If the angle measured is small, then the similarity is high in cosine
In this
similarity.
session, I'm going to explain the second part of our project or last part of our project, which is the comparison module. In this part of our project, we are comparing the answer sheet of the student with the answer key. Here I am considering 3 files to show 3 versions of our output. Here this demo file 3. This is the answer of our student. This is the handwritten answer that been converted to textual document, and this is the answer key, and this is an essay regarding child labor. Why I included this file is because I want to show you if the student is writing an completely wrong answer, so what will be the output? We expect a 0 marks. So I would like to show that version of the output also. So for that I'm using this file too. So I will start with the 0 marks and gradually go to the 100 mark output. So for that, initially I am going to compare this file with the answer of my student. So what we expect is of course 0 mark. So let us see what the code gives. Before that, I will explain a bit about my code. We are using cosine similarity algorithm for comparing the two documents. It is based on vectors, so we initially need to convert these file into a vector format. So my code, major part of my code is conversion of a file into a vector format, starting with uploading my file, two files, demo file and demo file 3. I told that demo file 3 consists of the answer, and demo file is no, I'm using demo file 2. Demo file 2 consists of the essay of child labor. So it's a completely two different contents. So I need to show that output also. So starting from this, by uploading these two files, I'm going towards tokenizing my two files. Tokenizing means dividing the whole sentences into words, set of words. So these two files are being divided into set of words using the function word tokenize, and these words of the two separate documents are appended to two separate lists, that is filtered sentence and filtered sentence 1, and then these lists are being converted to string. This is done because I told that we are converting my file into a vector format. For that I am using count vectorizer as the function. Count vectorizer only accepts strings, not list. So we need to convert list into string of words, which is done, and I have passed this to the counter vectorizer, and then these vectors being of the two documents are stored in df, and cosine similarity is applied to the vector, and that value is printed. So this is the similarity part of the code. Next is this part. This part deals with the interface, that is tkinter. This is simple interface that we are using for showing our output. So that's it. That's a code of tkinter. Here I am converting the value. This value will give a decimal value, so I will show it. It will be a decimal value, so we need it in the form of marks. So we are considering it out of 100. For that I did a simple multiplication with 100 and converted it to a decimal format of decimal position 1. And then we are giving a pass and fail depending on a condition, that is if the marks is greater than 40 it will be a pass, and else it will be a fail. So that's it. Let's run the program and see the output. Okay, so that's it. So this is here, this is the text of demo file 2, which is the essay of child labor. So I told you that the two documents are entirely different, answer and the demo file 2. So of course similarity is 0 and the marks is also 0, and it's a fail. Now let us compare the answer. This is the answer with, I have compared answer with demo file 2 to show the 0 output, how it will be. Now I am going to compare demo file 3, that is the answer of the student, with our answer key, original answer key, which is demo file. So we have to consider that we are here, I am only considering the answer key. So actually no, answer key isn't enough. We will consider the textbook also, but for now we are not considering textbook. We are only considering the answer key and the answer of the student. So let us see how my program will give or evaluate my student. So For that I have to change this. Comment. Okay. So my program will give a similarity value of 0.59. So it's almost 60. So maybe it's like, yeah. So student pass with a mark of 59.6, which is almost 60. So that's the similarity score that my program gives to the student. So there is actually a difference here. She uses, this is her answer, which is actually different from the answer key, which includes a few more words. It's given like this. It is a category of data processing that is focused on blah, that transactional tasks, etc. But in demo file 3, which is the answer of the student, is just a simple explanation of OLTP. So obviously this is the only marks that a professor will be giving, I hope. So now let's see what will be the marks if the student answers correctly, I mean exactly. So for that I'm comparing demo file, I mean the key, with the key itself. Okay. So that's it. Here 0.999 is the similarity, which is 100 pass. So that's it. We have seen the three versions of output. That is, when if the answer is completely different, if the answer is like somewhat similar, and also if the answer is exact similar. So these are the three versions of output that we have shown with our answer key and the answer of the student. So that's it. That's our project answer sheet evaluating app, which basically converts a handwritten answer into a textual document, which is compared with a answer key or a textbook PDF, and produces marks. And that's it. So here we are mainly aiming to less the effort of teachers. They are working hard on evaluation camps, so this app would be helpful for them. So that's it. That's all about our project. Thank you so much.